President Glickman, members of the Board of Regents for Higher Education, faculty and staff, graduating class, ladies and gentlemen. The 50th commencement exercises of Manchester Community College are now in session. I ask you to stand. I ask you to stand and remain standing for the invocation and the national anthem.
Please be seated. On behalf of the Connecticut State Colleges and Universities, governed by the Board of Regents for Higher Education, the faculty and staff of Manchester Community College, it's my honor and my privilege to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for the college's 2014 graduates. We're here in this formal convocation to recognize these students who have, through determination and effort, earned their associate degrees and certificates. I'd like this evening to give special recognition to our graduating veterans and active military men and women. They've served our country well, and some have gone on active service duty while completing their education here at MCC. It's my honor to wear their tricolor stole in black, blue, and gold to show how proud we are to honor them. Please, would the graduates and all the veterans in the audience please stand to be recognized, our veterans. Thank you. I'm also wearing a gold and blue stole to recognize the graduating students in the Brother to Brother and Sister to Sister programs, and a white stole that recognizes our STARS graduates. Will these students please stand and be recognized? Where are you? And then I would ask that all of our honor societies please stand to be recognized. Epsilon Pi Tau, Phi Theta Kappa, Alpha Mu Gamma, and Alpha Beta Gamma. Thank you. It's you, the students, soon to be graduates, if we ever get through the ceremony, right? And our faculty, staff, and friends that make MCC a very special place. Sorry. I'm proud to be here and to welcome everyone to the most important ceremony that we hold at the college. And this ceremony is a little extra special this year because we're celebrating our 50th Commencement for MCC. And while this is clearly your day, you haven't reached this point alone. So graduates, I would ask that you give a round of applause to your spouses and significant others and family and friends and anyone who supported you that's here today. And not only have your family and friends been there for you, but there's an entire college community who have been dedicated to your success, who've guided and counseled you and demanded that you give MCC all you have to give. Please show these faculty and staff members your appreciation. Much of the strength of the college and our quality is due to a group of citizens who believe in what we do and work diligently to ensure that we can be successful. We have two Board of Regents for Higher Education members here with us today that I'd like to introduce to you, who are on the platform party. Yvette Melendez, who is Vice Chair of the Board of Regents for Higher Education, and Erica Steiner, who is the Chief Financial Officer for the Board of Regents. I'd also like to introduce and ask to stand Tony Dolan, who is co-chair of our Manchester Community College Regional Advisory Board. And additionally, on the platform is Leah Bell, our Dean of Institutional Advancement. They should be standing behind me, is that right? Melanie Haber, our Dean of Continuing Education. Dr. Duncan Harris, our Dean of Student Affairs. Jim McDowell, our Dean of Administrative Affairs. Andia Di Cordova, our Associate Dean of Institutional Advancement. Dr. Pamela Mitchell-Crump, the Associate Dean of Academic Affairs. John Murray, who's Director of Media Services and the College Marshal, and our Provost and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Sandra Palmer. But most importantly, on the platform, our students, Sarah Birkenstock, Lori Chick, Brian Nafour, who's the SGA President, Michelle St. Pierre, and Boatram Tran. Our truly outstanding faculty and staff, the people who played a key role in your accomplishments, lead the development and innovation in teaching, learning, and support that provide the knowledge and skills that you need for your future. Will the faculty and staff members please rise to be recognized? And with us today, in honor of our 50th commencement, I'd also like to acknowledge our founders and their families, emeritus faculty and staff, retirees, our MCC Foundation Board and Regional Advisory Council members, and of course, our alums. I'd also like to acknowledge the many people who, through their efforts and hard work, have organized this commencement celebration this evening. This entire community of people enables us to provide an environment that is open, responsive to change, and that demands excellence. So please applaud these individuals to their dedication and service to the college. And it's now my pleasure to introduce you to Yvette Melendez, the Board of Regents for Higher Education. Regent Melendez, please come to the podium.
Good evening. What a glorious day, isn't it? Congratulations to you all, and happy birthday, Manchester Community College. This is a great way to celebrate. So President Glittman, distinguished guests, family and friends of Manchester Community College, and most importantly, members of the class of 2014. Connecticut's Board of Regents for Higher Education joins with you to celebrate, to reflect, and to look forward. This is what it's all about. This is why we are here. As you receive your degree or certificate, the Board of Regents not only offers you its greetings, but also its admiration, because you invested in yourselves and in your studies to reach this intersection of place and time. In this place, we celebrate with you because you have arrived at this day by the force of your determination, hard work, sacrifices, risk-taking, and of course, balancing acts. At this time, we reflect with you the reasons that brought you to this campus. For some of you, directly from high school, for others from the military or work world, and for still others after years of no formal educational pursuits. You all should be very, very proud. In this place and at this time, we look forward with you to a future brightened by new knowledge, heightened skills, and rich experiences that you have gained from your studies, your classmates, and your teachers. Manchester Community College, we know, is a gem. It's a shining star in the Connecticut State College University system. Your accomplishments are a superb testimony to MCC's mission as a learning-centered community rooted in opportunity, excellence, and relevance. The dictionary tells us that the word commencement has two meanings. One is it means it's a ceremony where you receive that sought-after degree or diploma, which are conferred to graduating students. But commencement also means a beginning or a start. As you receive degrees and certificates, the Board of Regents that governs Connecticut's community colleges and state universities salutes you. As you commence the many new beginnings in your life that start today, the path ahead will have new choices, new challenges, setbacks, but also many successes. We wish you a future poor in misfortune and rich in personal and professional fulfillment. Again, congratulations. Unfortunately, our honorary degree recipients could not be with us tonight, so I'll ask President Glickman and our honorary degree proxies to join me at the podium. This year, for the first time, Manchester Community College is awarding 2 honorary degrees to 2 deserving individuals. First is Dr. Henry C. Lee, who is one of the world's most noted forensic scientists. His work has made a landmark in modern-day criminal investigations, and he has been a prominent player in many of the most challenging cases of the last 50 years. He's our version of CSI. Dr. Lee has worked with law enforcement agencies in helping to solve more than 8,000 cases. In addition to his work in the field, Dr. Lee is a dedicated academic, having created the Forensic Sciences program at the University of New Haven and continuing to lecture across the country and with the world in policy universities and civic organizations. So with that, I would like to present this degree to Valeria Gonzalez on behalf of Dr. Lee. Our second honoree recipient is Mr. Anthony Viscogliosi. Mr. Viscogliosi has more than 20 years of experience as an accomplished founder, entrepreneur, CEO, and board member, Wall Street analyst, author, visionary, and lecturer. He has also served our country in the U.S. Navy Reserves for more than 20 years. However, it is for his role in revitalizing downtown Manchester that we are recognizing him today. Together with his wife, Paula, the Viscogliosis have paved the way for rejuvenation of downtown Manchester, opening their home for fundraising events and dedicating resources, both physical and monetary, for the greater good of our town. So with that, I present this award to Mirdad Faenzi on behalf of Mr. Anthony Viscogliosi. So by the virtue and authority vested in me, the Connecticut Board of Regents for Higher Education concurring, I confer upon the degree of Associate of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and invest you with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. Thank you.
Would Michelle St. Pierre please join me at the podium? As you can see from the program, Michelle has already made a real difference to the community with her desire and passion to stay focused, give back, and serve MCC in every way possible. Her commitment and dedication to her studies, her family, and her community is commendable. She is one of those special people who make all of her fellow graduates and alumni of Manchester Community College proud. On behalf of the Regional Advisory Council, it is my pleasure to present the Regional Advisory Council Award for 2014 to Michelle St. Pierre. Congratulations.
Would President Glickman again join me at the podium for the Board of Regents Medallions for Academic Excellence. The Board of Regents for Higher Education is proud to award its Medallion for Academic Excellence. These medallions are being awarded at each of our 12 community colleges to graduating students who have earned a 4.0 grade point average. That's not a typo on my script. A 4.0 grade point average, and who have completed at least half of their requirements at Manchester Community College. The students being honored today have earned an A in every course, and we are very, very proud of them. Would the following students please rise and join us at the podium? Sarah Birkenstock, Lori Chick, and Botram Tang. Congratulations, and we also like to note that Two other recipients who could not be here with us today of those medallions are also Jennifer Gorick and Theodore Dugnick, and they could not be here with us today. Thank you. Congratulations to all of these 5 superb students.
It is my pleasure to introduce the MCC 2014 valedictorian and salutatorian. Sarah Birkenstock is our salutatorian. Sarah, can you stand up, please? Sit. Sarah Birkenstock currently resides in East Hampton, Connecticut. She is graduating today with a General Studies AS degree and has earned all of her credits at MCC. Since starting at MCC in fall 2012, she has earned straight A's and has been on the president's list for all 4 semesters. She will be transferring to the University of Connecticut, where she will study actuarial science. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2014 salutatorian, Sarah Birkenstock. Our valedictorian is Bautram Tran. Bautram Tran is originally from Vietnam and currently resides in East Hartford, Connecticut. She is graduating today with an Accounting and Business Administration AS degree and has earned all of her credits at MCC. Bautram came to the United States 4 years ago in hopes of pursuing her education. Her path led her to MCC, where she excelled in the accounting program in hopes of one day have a successful career in the accounting field. Having completed her MCC coursework in December, Bautram is pursuing her bachelor's degree in accounting at the University of Connecticut. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2014 valedictorian, Bautram Tran.
Good afternoon, President Klickman, deans, faculty, parents, and crowd of 2014. Welcome to Commencement. I would like to tell you a little about myself. I was born in Vietnam, and this is my 4th year in the United States. Although my parents did not go to college, they encouraged me to value education and go for my dreams. These are the reasons I came to the United States and became who I am today. Today is one of the biggest days of our life, and I do not think we can make it that far and that successful without the love of our family and relatives. That said, I would like to thank our parents and relatives for forgiving our mistakes, standing by us after our failures, as well as understanding and supporting our dreams. I still remembered my first day on campus when I decided to start my future at Manchester Community College. It turns out I made a wise choice. MCC enabled me to reach my goals by providing me with several scholarships, for which I'm very grateful. The school has also provided me with the support and advice from faculty and staff. I cannot thank them enough for what they have done. Mr. Steve Jobs once said, "The only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did." You've got to find what you love, and this is as true for your work as it is for your lovers. To some of you, graduating from college is a transition to higher education. To others, it opens doors to a future career. No matter what your plans are, I hope you all find what you love to do and do it with all your love. Good luck and congratulations, class of 2014.
ask Raul Jimenez to join me at the podium for the President's Student Award. As in previous years, a committee chaired this year by Professor Mariana Duramo received nominations and recommended to me a student who has shown unusual perseverance in spite of difficulties, obstacles, or challenges. Raul, who was born in Westfield, Massachusetts, moved with his family to Puerto Rico when he was just an infant. After a diving accident at age 16 left him paralyzed, Raul faced many challenges, including finishing his schooling. After the accident, he spent many months recovering and didn't have the physical ability and transportation he needed to complete his studies. He spent 6 months with no schooling before returning to complete his junior year. As he saw former classmates graduate, Raul became encouraged to complete his studies senior year, and even more so when he was elected senior class president. On May 24th, 2006, Raul celebrated his high school graduation and his birthday, which was extra special that year. It was also around this time that Raul set his sights on another goal, graduating from college and becoming a graphic designer. Raul knew that his goal would be tough to accomplish in Puerto Rico, and after 2 years of feeling no closer to that goal, Raul and his mother decided to leave Puerto Rico and start a new life in Connecticut, leaving his father and sister behind. In 2012, Raul enrolled at Manchester Community College in order to achieve his new goal. And this semester, he has just completed Graphic Design 1 and is already enrolled in 2 design classes for the fall. It was my privilege to meet Raul just a week or so ago and see some of his work. It's just exceptional. And it's my privilege to present the President's Student Award for exceptional effort and unusual perseverance to Raul Jimenez. I'm especially honored that Dr. Barreca agreed to join us today to speak to the graduating class of 2014. It's been 5 years since Dr. Barreca last joined us as our esteemed speaker and honorary degree recipient at a graduation ceremony. Many of you may know Dr. Gina Barreca for her column in the Hartford Courant, or may even own one of her hilarious books. And in addition to her writings, Dr. Barreca is a professor of English and feminist theory at the University of Connecticut. She won UConn's highest award for excellence in teaching and has lectured worldwide as the authority on gender difference in humor. She's delivered keynotes on this topic at universities from Princeton to Perth. She holds a BA from Dartmouth College, where she was the first woman to be named Alumni Scholar. Her master's degree is from Cambridge University, where she was a Reynolds Fellow, and her PhD is from the City University of New York. It's my distinct honor, on behalf of the Student Commencement Committee, to invite Dr. Barreca to deliver the 2014 Commencement Address.
Can you hear me? All right. Thank you, President Glickman. This is, except for 5 years ago, it's the only time you have 2 women named Gina in academic robes on a stage. That doesn't usually happen. To the graduating class of 2014, you did it. You did it. For everybody else, this is just a nice Thursday afternoon. But for you, I want you to know that this is now on your permanent record. Did you get all those threats when you were a kid in school that this was going to go on your permanent record? I did. I was not the best student in school. And maybe that doesn't surprise you. You can hear from my voice that I come from a place and from a family maybe where school was not the first priority. Like some of you, I was the first one in my family to go to college. I was the first one in my family actually to graduate from high school in a timely fashion. From Brooklyn, New York, there's always somebody from Brooklyn, New York. I gave a talk in Australia. I wasn't sure anybody would even know where Brooklyn was. Somebody yelled out, "Where'd you go to high school?" And after 27 years of teaching at the University of Connecticut, 27 years I've been here, no one has ever come up to me and said, "Gina, what part of Connecticut do you come from?" I still sound like I'm from a poor Italian family in Brooklyn, New York, and there's no reason to pretend that I'm not. I've never tried to distance myself from that starting gate. But sometimes really terrific things end up on your permanent record. And that's why you're here today, because you made it. You really made it. You made it to the point where you can rent a cap and gown and where the cap says front of cap. Did you notice that? Right? All this money, all this time you spend studying, how smart you all are, it says front of cap. Because they do not trust you to know where the front of your cap is. Notice I'm not wearing a cap. Actually, caps were not made for short women with curly hair. They were made for tall guys who were bald, okay? I think we need to make some kind of difference about this. And actually, the president mentioned I got a degree in England, and I was so not used to, I didn't actually attend my college graduation, which is why I'm so happy to attend yours. I was so not comfortable when I got a hood, the first time when you get a hood of the graduate degree, that I thought I was supposed to put the hood over my head like a Disney princess. I looked like a hooker. It was really, no, like Daenerys or something from, and it was not a good thing. It was not helpful. But some good things go on your permanent record, right? I think more good things should go on our permanent record. I think on our permanent record there should be those things like when we help somebody, right? Like we should go up to kids and say, "I saw you helping Ashley today with her homework." You know, that's going on your permanent record. You said something intelligent and original in class. You know, that's going on your permanent record, mister. Okay? So class of 2014, you are here because you have given sufficient evidence to the faculty of Manchester Community College that you paid enough attention, that you showed up to get all of this good work on your permanent record. Congratulations. And I bet you and a lot of people sitting in this beautiful space here were not sure you were going to get your degree. Right? Can I hear witnessing from some of those people sitting back? Not everybody was sure you were going to get your degree. There were long days and long nights, sometimes really long nights, when you wondered whether it was worth the stress, the annoyance, and the money, not to mention the resentment of your loved ones for all the time you were spending on your schoolwork. But you did it. This is your achievement. This is why you deserve today's celebration. Getting a degree is not just something that happens. It's not just an accident or an act of fate. It's not an inevitability. You don't just get a degree the way you get poison ivy or the measles. You don't catch it. You earn it. It's not something you pick up or something you stumble into. And earning a degree is not like what happens in The Wizard of Oz. You all know The Wizard of Oz, right? I mean, even the younger people in the audience have seen The Wizard of Oz. And you remember that the Scarecrow, when he finally gets up to the Emerald City and goes to meet the wizard, and he's always felt inferior because he doesn't have a brain, right? And he goes up to the wizard and he says, I want a brain. And the wizard says, I can't give you a brain, but I can give you a diploma. Some of us in education find that a depressing line. But the diploma that you're getting today is one that you've earned. It's a piece of paper that matters. It's not like getting a paper crown from Burger King. And it's not like getting your hand stamped if you go into a, I won't say club because I have no firsthand knowledge of that, but to a county fair, let's say. It's actual currency. No, you cannot literally take your diploma to the bank. You cannot go to Liberty Bank, tomorrow and go at like a roll of 20s. But trust me, you'll cash in on your diploma in other ways. Because your diploma is nevertheless a bill of credit. That's why they call them credits in your classes. You earn a certain number of credits for every class you complete successfully. And these are meant to indicate how much you've learned, right? When my students at UConn come up and they say, what did I get in a class? I say, it's not what you get, it's what you earned. This is not like going to the casino, right? It's not like you pull the handle and the 3 cherries come up. It's what you earn in a class. You earn this diploma. So you want to think of your diploma as like a credit card where you have all these credits. And now what you have to do, because you have this in front of you, is cash in on your credits. You have to use every single thing you learned. You earned the knowledge that you have. Those credits are there. It would be silly not to draw on them. You want to think about what Irma Bombeck said. Irma Bombeck, very funny writer of essays. She got up in front of, I think it was a graduating class, when she was giving a speech, and she said, when I get up there in front of God at the end of my life, what I hope is what I'll get to say is that, God, I don't have a single bit of talent left. I used everything you gave me. And I hope that you're going to be able to think you're going to use every piece of education you've received in your time here. You've earned your education. And that's why we all know you get the stuff in your spam mailboxes that say, get your bachelor's degree in 2 weeks, right? You've seen those. Those come up. They're right next to lose 15 pounds in 3 minutes by eating this miracle berry, right? Okay? Yeah, you know that. They're just about as effective. You cannot get a degree that has meaning in 2 weeks any more than you can buy a pair of Spanx and look 15 pounds slimmer instantly. It doesn't work that way. Okay, that everybody got. So, all right, so you want some takeaway advice. All right, here's the takeaway advice. First of all, you want to thank the people who got you here. Take a minute to look around and wave to these people who got you here, because you didn't do it on your own. All right? Wave to them. And if they're not here for whatever reason, they couldn't be here. And if for any reason they couldn't be here, keep a good thought for them in your hearts. Okay? Also, even if you're too cool for everything else, for God's sake, let them take pictures. Everybody looks good in a gown, right? Even if you look good in nothing else, trust me, you look good in a gown. They want to take pictures, let them take pictures. We need to have our comrades, our family, and our friends with us during our times of accomplishment and celebration as much as we need them during our times of sadness and loss. Remember, it's not that diamonds are your best friends, but it's your best friends who are your diamonds. It's your best friends, your family, and your loved ones who are your diamonds. They are supremely resilient, they're made under pressure, they're of astonishing value, and they're tough enough to cut glass. Don't be too hip to tell them that you love them and that you're grateful to have them in your life. 2, listen most carefully to those ideas with which you are sure you will disagree. That's the mark of an educated person, and that's what you are, class of 2014. An educated person can listen and understand somebody else's position without needing to accept it or share it. If nothing else, you will have a clear vision of what the opposition thinks. This will work as well in your family life as will work in the workplace or in politics. 3, money and time are very much alike. If you want either of them, you have to make them. You'll never just find them. You can no more easily find the time for something important than you can make the money for it. Don't focus so much on making a living, though, that you forfeit having a life. 4, wherever you go, bring your sense of humor with you. Bring your friends with a sense of humor. If their friends have a sense of humor, invite them. Take the world seriously, but don't take it personally. See the absurd, but never lose sight of the glorious, and don't be afraid to laugh out loud, and don't be afraid to make trouble. 5, Manchester Community College is not the only one who should be giving you credit today for all your work. You should be proud of yourself and your achievement. Yes! This is a day not only to remember, but to enjoy and to cherish. It's not just a silly ritual or even only a rite of passage, although I'm a fan of both. But it's a moment separated from ordinary days for you to feel good about what you've done, where you've been, and most of all about where you're going. Thanks for letting me be part of today's journey, and bon voyage, class of 2014.
I heard that make trouble. I like that. Thank you, Dr. Baraka. And now I'd like to introduce our distinguished alumnus, Nancy J. Kelly. Nancy Kelly is a nationally recognized executive and lawyer who has driven key strategic initiatives in business, government, nonprofit, and academic sectors for more than 20 years. Recently, she was the founding executive director of the New York Genome Center. From its establishment in 2010 by its 11 institutional founding members, she led the center from a startup to a fully operational, world-class research center and provider of cutting-edge sequencing and bioinformatics services, raising $110 million to do so. She's been appointed a White House Fellow and a Truman Scholar. She holds an associate's degree in accounting from Manchester Community College and a bachelor's degree in economics from Yale, a JD from Harvard Law School, and an MPP from the Harvard Kennedy School. It's my distinct honor and privilege to introduce you to Nancy Kelly.
Congratulations to everyone tonight. This is such a joyous occasion, and it is really a privilege to be with you. So tonight represents the culmination of a lot of hard work and achievement, which is meaningful in each of your lives for so many different reasons. It's a time for celebration tonight, but also for reflection. You have inherited the promise and potential of a community college degree. The question that you have to ask yourself now is, what will you do with it? For just as important as the completion that you are experiencing tonight is the start of a new beginning. With the experience, wisdom, and tools provided to you by Manchester Community College, you now have the opportunity to dwell in new possibilities that may not have been open to you before when you began your journey at this college. So I would like you to reflect on the question tonight: how can you reimagine your future in the face of new possibilities provided by this college, in ways that will advance positive change, not only for yourselves, but for your families, your communities, and our planet? With the hope that what I have to share might help you in this endeavor, I want to tell you about how Manchester Community College enabled me to reimagine my future. When I entered Manchester Community College in 1980, I didn't know much, but I knew one thing. I knew I wanted to build a better future for myself and for my family that would also influence the world in a positive manner. I'm sure that many of you graduating tonight are feeling the same way. I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to happen. I was a young mother and a wife, and my husband and I were pretty broke. We didn't have a lot of prospects, either for our children or for ourselves. That was not a fun place to be. But I had dreams, which was the first step to reimagining my future. So I came to MCC, which was right around the corner from my house. I could drop my 3 girls off at school before I came and pick them up on my way home. I could take out a student loan to pay the tuition, and I could begin to explore the possibilities of a different life than the one I had been leading. I thought I would major in accounting, and someday, if I was successful, I would go to UConn and become a tax lawyer. But something magical happened along the way. Here at this college, supported and encouraged by all of the talented faculty and staff, I discovered worlds of knowledge that I had previously not been aware of. It ignited a thirst in me to know more than my basic studies in accounting offered. My experience here extended well beyond the classroom. I met a community of people who were intensely interested and committed in helping others to reimagine their futures. And as a result of the staff and faculty here, I ran for treasurer of the Student Senate, organized a lobbying trip to Washington, organized a political awareness day at which we signed 300 people up to vote, and served as a legislative intern in the state legislature with many people who have become my lifelong friends and mentors. When the Dean of Student Affairs at Manchester Community College suggested that I could go to Washington, I never dreamed that in just 6 years, I would be working in the White House during the final year of a president whose financial aid policies I had opposed. As that incident suggested, times and opportunities change. As my future unfolded, in addition to my role as a wife and mother, I became valedictorian of Manchester Community College, Truman Scholar, graduate of Yale College, graduate of Harvard Law School and the Harvard Kennedy School, special assistant to the U.S. Trade Representative in the White House, lawyer, executive, real estate developer, world traveler, entrepreneur, architect of scientific and healthcare institutions. I am also now the mother of 3 grown daughters, a cinematographer, a surgeon, and an executive in international technology development, whose lives would have been very different without the possibilities provided by this college. One of them is here with me tonight, and I'm glad that she can both celebrate your achievements as well as her own, the ones she was able to realize because of the reimagined future that MCC provided to me and my family. I am also now a grandmother of 4 grandchildren, all of whom are citizens of the world with dual citizenship, and 2 of whom speak 3 languages. So how the heck did all this happen? Did I foresee this when I stood on this podium 32 years ago and addressed the class of 1982 and encouraged people to pursue their dreams? Was the simplicity of pursuing dreams enough to reimagine our futures? Hardly. Dreaming was only the first step. And you know what? It was the easiest one. My life became a never-ending series of adventures and challenges. With each new step came new possibilities to influence the world in a larger manner, opportunities to aim a little higher, look a little further, and with that, risks to evaluate, choices to make, changes to incorporate. Thoreau once said, in the long run, we only hit what we aim at. And with each successful step, my aim rose slightly from where I had stood before. There were some really tough points along the way. Betrayal by people I trusted, the loss of people I loved, financial setbacks, serious illness in my family. Times that were filled with fear, grief, loneliness, and unspeakable challenge. Times when I lost myself in what St. John the Evangelist calls the dark night of the soul. During these 32 years, I came to understand that reimagining one's future was not just about dreams, but an ongoing process of understanding priorities in the face of opportunities and challenges. It meant paying attention to my own intuition, making conscious choices about where I could make a difference, showing up, determined to do my best every day, facing every problem head on, and persevering through whatever difficulty, knowing that I could not dictate the outcome and surrendering to a higher calling. I actually wasn't always graceful in the midst of learning all of this, and I had to forgive myself a lot. I reminded myself of something that Emerson said often: finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities have crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with your head held high, with too high a spirit to be encumbered by your old nonsense. Very helpful advice. I also came to realize that what's really important is not what happens to you at the pinnacle of your success, but actually when you're flat on the mat. Do you give up or get up? During my most difficult periods when I was trying to decide the answer to that question, I was reminded of Theodore Roosevelt's observations regarding the man in the arena who strives valiantly, who comes short again and again, and who spends himself in a worthy cause. Whether he succeeds or he fails does not matter as much as that he tried. And as I continued to get up and try again, a funny thing happened. An entire universe opened up, filled with unexpected possibilities and people who believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. And with each new step forward, I found myself entering a new world that I could not possibly have imagined. The world of a reimagined future. Blessed with lessons from all of the experiences I had had, and infused with new blessings that were already on their way. It was then that I realized, as Emily Dickinson wrote, "You never know how high we are till we are called to rise, and then if we are true to plan, our statures touch the sky." You will all face your own adventures and challenges in the days and years ahead as you strive to reimagine your futures. The possibilities are limited only by your imagination and your commitment. I hope that in the midst of them, you remember the people who support you and take heart in some of the lessons that I've shared with you tonight. So how do you reimagine the future? There's a piece of refrigerator wisdom that I want to share with you tonight. It's in my kitchen, and it's called The Divine Manifesto by Sloan Davidson. And it goes like this. Give. Give a little. Give a lot. Don't feel guilty for what you can't do. Be empowered for what you can. Support causes that you care about. Support causes that your friends care about. Have an issue that you're passionate about. Have 3. Don't be afraid to change your mind. Be present and be intellectually curious. Be radically and fundamentally better as a human being. Donate your time, your money, your resources, your network. Don't wait for permission or someday. Someday is today. Let yourself be uncomfortable in new surroundings. Create space to be loved, inspired, humbled. Embrace change. Create a movement. Be the hero of your own story. And finally, as Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. This is how you reimagined your future. I wish you all the best as you journey forward on your reimagined futures. Thank you.
Thank Nancy Kelly for coming up to speak with us today. It's an inspiring story. And now I'd like to invite Provost Palmer to present the candidates for certificates and degrees.
Madam President, distinguished members of the Platform Party, deans, faculty, staff, and guests, I have the honor of presenting these candidates for the degrees and certificates to be conferred this evening. Upon the recommendation of the faculty, I present to you the members of the 2014 graduating class who have completed all requirements for the degrees and certificates to be conferred today. Congratulations.
Please be seated, we're not done yet. This year, in recognition of our 50th birthday, MCC is starting a new tradition. And it's going to take 2 hours. More like 2 minutes. This lamp that I hold before you symbolizes the search of knowledge that each of our students embarks upon when they enter MCC. Today, I pass this lamp to Valeria, and she will make 3 wishes. And ask that she pass it back to me, symbolizing the circle of learning at MCC. May all your good wishes come true.
Thank you, Mayor Dodd and Valeria. It's a lovely tradition that we can use for years to come, and I have to extend my gratitude to Professor Strickland for sharing not only the idea of the Lamp of Learning with us, but the lamp itself, and for bringing forward this new tradition. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the part you have all been patiently waiting for has arrived. Would the graduating class please stand? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Connecticut State Colleges and Universities Board of Regents for Higher Education, I hereby declare the certificates and Associate in Arts and the Associate in Science degrees conferred. Would the graduates please move their tassels from the right to the left? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Manchester Community College class of 2014. And I would ask that everyone please stand for the recessional. The 50th commencement exercises of Manchester Community College are hereby adjourned. Please join us for reception in the village courtyard following the recessional.